I cannot breathe right now. I literally just finished watching the latest episode of General Hospital and my hands are shaking so badly I can barely type on my keyboard. I have been watching this show religiously since I was in middle school, like, we are talking the 2015 era, and I have never seen them pull off something this intensely dark, twisted, and emotionally devastating in a hot minute. I mean, we all knew Ross Cullum was a bad dude, right? We knew he was shady, we knew he was dangerous, and we knew he was running this insane cold fusion project. But the sheer, unadulterated brutality of what he just did to Marco Rios, I am screaming at my television. I am absolutely losing my mind over this. And before I even get into the absolute mess that is the Sonny Corinthos frame-up, can we just take a moment of silence for Marco? Cause I am not okay. I am so far from okay. I know some people in the forums were saying Marco had it coming because he was playing with fire, but personally, I am devastated. Marco genuinely thought he was untouchable because he was Jen Sidwell's son. He had that classic soap opera hubris where he thought his last name was a shield made of titanium. When Lucas warned him over and over again, Marco brushed it off. He really thought Cullum wouldn't dare strike without solid proof about the stolen Huntington's meds. But Cullum is a literal psychopath. He doesn't wait for a jury trial. The way Cullum just crept into Alexis's law office with that knife behind his back, it was like a horror movie. The suspense was killing me. I was yelling at the screen, "Turn around, Marco! Turn around!" But no, Cullum just ambushed him and stabbed him to death. The visual of Marco bleeding out on those legal files, it's going to haunt my nightmares for weeks. And let's talk about poor Alexis Davis for a second, because my god, hasn't this woman suffered enough? She literally just wanted some handwritten notes on a legal brief. That's it? That was her only request. She leaves for Danny's basketball game, comes back to her office, and what does she find? A gruesome, bloody corpse. I can't even imagine the trauma. Alexis has been through the ringer over the years. I mean, remember her whole nightmare with Julian Jerome, but walking into your own sanctuary, your place of business, and finding a young man slaughtered on your carpet, give Nancy Lee Grahn an Emmy right now because the look of absolute horror on her face was visceral. I read a spoiler theory that Marco might have managed to scrawl a C or Cullum on those files before he took his last breath. If he did, that is the most epic dying declaration ever, but right now I am just so heartbroken for Alexis having to be the one to find him. But wait, it gets so much worse, because who has to find out next, Lucas? My sweet, precious Lucas Jones, who has already been through so much heartbreak in his life. Between the baby swap drama years ago and all his relationship struggles, the man deserves a break. When Elizabeth Baldwin has to deliver that devastating news to him on March 25th, I am going to need an entire box of tissues. Liz is the perfect person to tell him because she's so empathetic, but watching Lucas's world shatter into a million pieces is going to break me. And then to make matters worse, Harrison Chase is apparently going to interrupt a comforting moment between Liz and Lucas to grill Lucas about who had a motive to kill Marco. Like, Chase, I love you, you are a great cop, but read the room. The man just lost his boyfriend in the most horrific way possible. Give him a minute to breathe before you start shining an interrogation spotlight in his face. Okay, back to the point, because the real mastermind behind all this chaos is Cullum, and I have to admit, as much as I hate the guy, his evil genius is off the charts. Cullum knows that Jen Sidwell is going to scorch the earth to avenge his son. He knows the PCPD will be swarming all over Port Charles. So what does this absolute snake do? He meticulously frames Sonny Corinthos for the murder. Yes, Sonny. I can't believe they did that. It is so brilliant and so infuriating at the same time. Cullum is using Sonny as a meat shield to protect himself and his cold fusion project. He is planting a fake trail so perfectly that even the cops are going to buy it hook, line, and sinker. I mean, Sonny has a lot of enemies, and Marco wasn't exactly his biggest fan, so the motive is sitting right there on a silver platter. And because the universe has a sick sense of humor, who is stepping up to defend Sonny against these criminal charges, Rick Lansing. I am laughing hysterically at the irony of this. Remember when Rick literally locked a pregnant Carly in a panic room? Remember all the years of bitter toxic? Brotherly hatred between Sonny and Rick, and now Rick is the one who has to save Sonny from going to prison for a murder he actually didn't commit. Sonny is innocent for once in his life. It's wild. I am honestly here for this dynamic because their scenes are always electric. Rick is trying so hard to prove he's a changed man, especially to Elizabeth, and winning this case for Sonny would be the ultimate redemption arc. But man, the stress of this is going to send Sonny into an absolute tailspin. Speaking of tailspins, Jen Sidwell is about to turn Port Charles into a literal war zone. When Sidwell finds out his son is dead, the grief is going to morph instantly into a bloodlust that we haven't seen in years. The spoilers say he makes Ava Jerome his confidant, which makes total sense because Ava knows a thing or two about grief and revenge. But Ava has got to be terrified right now. She knows that if Sidwell believes Sonny killed Marco, which he totally will, thanks to Cullum's frame job, Sidwell is going to put a hit out on Avery's father. Ava is going to be caught right in the middle of this mob war. Sidwell is out for blood, and I am genuinely terrified of what he's going to do to Sonny or anyone caught in the crossfire. But here is the twist that has me screaming at my cat, Jocelyn Jax, is the one who figures it out. Yes, Jocelyn. She connects the dots. She realizes that Marco was killed for trying to help Britt Westbourne get her stolen medication, and she figures out that Cullum is the real killer, making Sonny the fall guy. Am I the only one who thinks this is poetic justice? Jocelyn has been ranting non-stop for months, years, even dating back to the Nixon Falls drama about how Sonny needs to be brought to justice and thrown in a dark hole. She wants his downfall more than anyone, but now she holds the key to his freedom. She has this massive moral dilemma: let Sonny take the fall for a crime he didn't commit or expose Cullum and save the man she hates. I know some people are loving this Jocelyn dilemma, but personally I think she has to do the right thing. Cullum is way more dangerous than Sonny at this point. If Cullum gets away with this, he's going to keep killing people to protect his cold fusion project. Jocelyn's own life is going to be in grave danger if Cullum finds out she's onto him. And it's not just her. Michael is starting to get suspicious too. He knows something isn't right about this frame-up. And little Gio Palmieri is so worried about Grandpa Sonny that he goes to Dante for answers. The whole family is getting dragged into this mess. If Jocelyn stays quiet, she's essentially sentencing Sonny to death by Sidwell, and I don't think she can live with that guilt, no matter how much she despises Sonny's mob lifestyle. Let's pivot to the absolute disaster that is happening on Pier 55, because my anxiety cannot handle the Britt and Jason situation right now. I am so mad at Dunt. I know Dante is just doing his job carrying out a WSB warrant, but his timing is literally the worst. Jason is trying to get to the pier to save Britt and escape to Canada, and Dante corners him in the gym parking lot. Jason begs Dante to find Danny first so his kid doesn't have to see his dad get arrested, which is heartbreaking. But it delays Jason just enough. Jason has to go down to the PCPD, and by the time he finally gets let go and rushes to Pier 55, it's too late. He misses her. He misses Britt. I am so devastated I could cry. Because Jason isn't there, Britt is left completely defenseless against Cullum. Cullum blocks her escape. He probably grabs her by the arm and drags her back to Windermere like a hostage. Britt is already terrified she's running out of time with her Huntington's disease, and now she is trapped with a literal murderer. Cullum doesn't have time to wait anymore. He puts her on an even stricter deadline. He threatens her life, telling her she is a dead woman if she doesn't finish that prototype by tomorrow. And he doesn't just threaten her, he threatens Jason and Rocco too. Britt is rushing frantically, working under the most extreme duress imaginable, and I am so scared for her. Kelly Tebow is going to act the hell out of these scenes, but my heart can't take it. And speaking of Rocco, this kid is way in over his head. Rocco has been snooping around, trying to figure out what kind of jam Britt is in, and he actually witnessed the illegal medication handoff earlier. Now, Nathan West has foiled Jack Brennan's attempt to find Britt, and Nathan is so concerned that he spills the secret to Lulu. Nathan warns Lulu about how dangerous Cullum is, but Lulu is an investigative journalist. Telling her not to investigate is like telling a moth not to fly into a flame. Lulu goes on a fishing expedition, and she's going to realize that Rocco is tangled up in this too. The danger level for Lulu and Rocco is off the charts. If Cullum finds out a teenager and a reporter are snooping into his cold fusion project and Marco's murder, he won't hesitate to eliminate them. I am so frustrated with everyone making terrible decisions. Why didn't Brennan just tell Nathan the truth faster? Why didn't Jason just knock Dante out and run? I know. Jason is trying to be a good dad to Danny, but Britt is literally about to be murdered in a castle. The stakes have never been higher. And we all know Steve Burton is taking a short hiatus, so this is obviously setting up Jason's temporary exit. Is Cullum going to kidnap Jason too? Is he going to lock him in the catacombs of Windermere? Or is Jason going to have to fake his own death to get Cullum off his back? I am dreading this exit, but I am also kind of here for the drama of it all. It's the kind of high-stakes soap opera storytelling that made me fall in love with General Hospital in the first place. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to take a breath and talk about something slightly less bloody but still super stressful. Brooklyn and Chase. I love them so much, they are my absolute comfort couple, but Tracy Quartermain is making me want to pull my hair out right now. Brooklyn and Chase want to get approved to take baby Phoebe home from the NICU. They want to be her foster parents. It's beautiful, it's sweet, it's exactly what they need after everything they've been through. But Tracy has to come in with her harsh, blunt interrogations. She's grilling Brooklyn, accusing her of using this baby as a band-aid to fix her unresolved issues with Gio and her marriage to Chase. Like, Tracy, back off. Brooklyn genuinely wants to protect this child. She feels a connection to Delilah's baby. Let them have a win for once. I know Chase is going to interrupt a moment, and whether it's him finding Brooklyn bonding with Phoebe, or him interrupting Liz and Lucas to ask insensitive cop questions, Chase is just doing his best. But the whole canvas is just exploding right now. From Marco's brutal murder, to Sonny's frame-up, to Britt's hostage situation, and Jocelyn's moral crisis. General Hospital is firing on all cylinders. Every single character is pushed to their absolute limit. I am going to be glued to my screen next week. I need to know if Jocelyn saves Sonny. I need to know if Jason finds Britt before Cullum kills her. I need to know if Alexis ever gets the blood out of her office carpet. I am emotionally exhausted. I am stressed. I am probably going to have stress dreams about Ross Cullum, but I cannot wait for Monday. Let's go GH.